Hey guys, Kicker here. Today I have some tips for you on when you're offline, which we all hate. I'm sure. Offline, I mean, as you have no internet connection, but you still have the computer available to you. Most of us can't live, or some of us can't live without the internet. Hypothetically, I mean, we can physically live, but mentally, I guess you should say. You get bored. Now, you can always go out. Go outside. It's always a great option. Exercise, play with friends, whatever. But I mean, as in if you're on a trip or you're, I usually watch over a store sometimes, and my laptop is really what gets me through it. Now, we have two. For me, I have two. My parents, I should say, have two stores. Side job, and they have them in different locations. And one I can get wireless connection, and one I can't. So I have to cope with being not connected. And I thought I should hand out some tips on some things I do and some things you can do as well when you're offline or have no connection. First off, when you're offline at your, at local, even at houses or whatever, if your internet goes down anywhere, if you really need to use it, then first option would be, make sure you are lost out of connection. Check different browsers. If you use Firefox, or if you use Firefox or Safari or Internet Explorer, back it up with the main browser. So let's say on OS X you use Firefox, check with Safari, make sure that it's just not the browser. Sometimes that's a problem. Check with IE on Windows to make sure that's not the problem. If not, reset your router, of course, and check. And if you have to go, try going wired. If that might work, maybe your wireless, who knows. But anyways, getting into tips of having no connection. One fun thing to do is always carry a pen drive with you, just so you can take documents that you really need to work on or anything like that, and even bring games. I bring my you can bring emulation if you have emulation games on there. That's a fun thing to do while you're out, or even some people have other games on their pen drive, all that stuff you can bring over. So you can play. Good thing to bring on a pen drive would be Pivot, or you can even install the games onto your computer, and then play around with Pivot, the stick animation thing. You can bring that on, or play with that. And that takes up time to make a good one. So it's gonna waste time as time goes by, and you'll be surprised how much time passes by. The other thing to do, write up blogs. Yeah, I know. Now you're gonna say, how do you write up a blog if the internet's down? I'm sure you have some type of text editor on there, whether it be Notepad, whatever, Microsoft Office, whatever it may be. Fire it up and, write a blog. Write, as many as you can. Write, jot down, a couple blogs, so that way when and save it, and that way when you get connection, you can just copy and paste them right in to your, your whatever may be, Blogger, WordPress. So that way you can have everything organized and you can get things quicker done. Some other things, if you're a frequent YouTuber, write down video ideas and video lists and elaborations. If you're going to do a how-to, then, write down what you're going to do. If you're going to do a vlog, write down notes for future videos, ideas. That way you can organize all your thoughts and you can just do your videos when you get online. If you have a webcam available and, you're just at some place, or why not record videos even, That's what I did at, once I went to, this Christmas I went to a resort and I had no internet connection, so I recorded all the videos that I needed, as ideas passed on. I just recorded videos, and when I got back, I uploaded them all like crazy, right when I got back. Or you can even upload them separately, whatever is up to you. When you're offline, guys, you have a lot of and you do stuff ahead of time, you can organize everything in the future, so when you do get connection, everything's nice and organized. So those are some options to record videos, or even if you don't have a webcam available, you can always download some screencast program like Cam Studio for Windows, or Camtasia, whatever. For the Mac, you can buy iShowU. Speaking of iShowU, we're having a giveaway for iShowU when I hit 550 subscribers. I'll get into that later on. But who knows? If you have iShowU or a screencasting program, just like recording off webcam, you can record right off your screen. And you need no internet connection for this, guys. Of course, you can't upload it because internet's down. But when you get back, you can always upload it right then. So you have a lot of stuff to do that you can work on, even if you don't have internet connection. Also, explore around. I was about to say, I forgot what I was gonna say. I guess I was gonna say twiddle around with your programs. Tweak around with your programs, or settings. Some settings that you never knew of before. Look into your operating systems. If you're on Windows, look at some stuff that you never looked at before. Look at different programs. There's look at the tools that it gives you, all that stuff. You can even mess around with some stuff like registry editor. Now, just be careful. Make sure you're careful if you're editing weird, some important stuff. But if you want to explore around, so you may get an idea along the way. If you find something out, and you could be a future video. You never know. Who knows? Now, if you don't do your regular videos and stuff like that, you YouTube and then you can always blog, like I said. If not, you can write stories. Who knows? You may be into that. I don't know. You can always mess around with music is another fun thing. If you're a musician, this is for the more of a musician or anybody who really loves music. I would download a freeware called freeware Audacity, A-U-D-A-C-I-T-I-C-T-Y, sorry, A-U-D-A-C-I-T-Y, A-U-D, and then Audacity, A-U-D-A-C-I-T-Y. Sorry guys, I totally screwed up there. So it's A-U-D-A and then the word city, C-I-T-Y. Anyways, that's a free sound recorder, and you can do podcasting. You can record podcasts for future, if you upload to a podcast network. But if not, you can always mess around and import music in there, edit that freely. And that's cross-platform. If and for the Mac, if you have GarageBand, really cool thing to play around with as well. So play around with stuff like Windows Movie Maker, iMovie. Edit a movie. You never know. It can take up time will pass by as you do it. So those are a lot of tips now. Of course, lastly, really fun thing, like I mentioned before, gaming. If you have games installed on your laptop that don't require internet connection, why not try playing it over again, or if you beat it already, or even play the games that your operating system has on it already preloaded. I know when I had no internet connection with here, I played chess. That was actually pretty fun. I played the chess on Vista, and there's a whole bunch of other games like Solitaire. A lot of people can play that for hours. So guys, really make it your own. Just explore around would be the best thing to say. If explore around. If you're more of a really want to record and stuff like that, go ahead and record. Your internet connection is not gonna stop you from recording. Uploading it will. That way, when you get your internet connection up, or you get it's fixed up, or you finally get back to your connection, you can upload them right away. So those are some tips on what to do when when you're offline or have no connection. All those will help you stay organized for a lot of things. Get stuff in earlier, and some will just help you, pass by time and have fun while you're, doing that. But of course, the ultimate rule, if you're just somewhere like at your house and stuff like that, and connection's out, unless you really don't need to get on the computer, why not go outside and do something, or even do something else, whatever it may be. But if it's not working, give it time. But if you really need to use it, those are some tips to help you out. Of course, always check if you really need to use the internet. Double check if you're reset your router. That's really important. Double check your browsers to make sure it's not only one browser that's crashed. And that gets into networking, but the main idea. Anyways, guys, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.